the same thing. I can't find my notes, I have to do it from memory. One nation under God was their cry, indeed their declaration. Upon the laws of nature and of nature's God, they built a mighty nation, but unlike mankind before them, who had walked this earth and saw these men would never question the sovereignty of God. That all men were created was a truth self-evident, and to secure the rights that God gave us was the role of government. And should any form of government become destructive of the sins, it was their right, indeed their duty, a new one to begin. So with the firm reliance on divine providence for protection, they pledged their sacred honor and sought his wise direction. They even lifted up an appeal to God for all the world to see and vowed their independence, forever to be free. But I'm glad they're not here with us to see the mess we're in. How we've given up our righteousness for a life of indulgent sin. When abortion is no longer called murder, and when sodomy is deemed a right, then good is now called evil, and darkness is now called light. And no longer does man see a need for God when he's in full control, for the only truth, self-evident, is in the latest poll. But with man as his own master, we fail to count the cost. Our precious freedoms vanish, and our liberties are lost. Our children are told they can't pray in school. And when they teach them evolution, why can't they see the fear of God is the only true solution? Our schools have become a battleground while all across the land, Christians just shrug their shoulders, afraid to take a stand. But from the grave you can hear their voices cry, the victory's already been won. Just glorify the Father as did his only Son. And when our work on earth is done, and we've traveled where you've trod, you'll leave the land we left to you, one nation under God. You know, as I think about the many Americans, how many veterans we've gotten here? Just raise your hands. Look around. Look around. You know, there's been so many that have given their life for this country. They're gone. Our country's changing. What we say here, in the words of Lincoln, the world may no longer remember what we say, but we should never forget what they did. It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work, which they who fought there at Gettysburg stood for. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take an increased devotion to that cause for which they gave their last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and the government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. May God bless you, the state of Alabama, and the United States of America. Thank you.
The greatest swamp rally tonight in Midland City, Alabama. On election eve tonight in Alabama. Congressman Louis Gohmert was there. Steve Bannon, a fellow soldier who served with Judge Moore back in Vietnam. His wife spoke, among others. And some polls that have come out as we move into the election.